Hey, it's Vanessa, and welcome back to Born to Build the New. It's early in the morning, and the birds are definitely singing. So you'll get a mini nervous system reset when you're tuning in. If I pause, it's probably so you can hear that bird song more clearly, or maybe I'm just taking a pause because pauses are really helpful. What we'll be talking about today has to do with your vision, your purpose, and your mission. These are all distinctly different from each other, though the terms get used interchangeably quite often, but I hold them as different. So I'm going to break that down in this episode of what they are and how they help what you're here to build. Because when you're building a business, we can get really caught up in the tiny tasks and the to-do list. The vision, the purpose, and the mission, they're different than having a specific business goal. What the vision, purpose, and mission does is connect you with the larger calling you're here for, the paradigm shifting aspect of what you're here for. As you connect with that, all of these little aspects of what you struggled with go back into right proportion. And that's really helpful, right? Because we can blow things out of proportion when we're building our business. Before I go into any further detail, as always, love to introduce myself. I'm your host of Born to Build the New, Vanessa Smith, energy guide and identity seer, and love to talk about the paradigm shift we are currently in right now. The paradigm shift has to do with how the old systems and structures are shifting and the new ones are being built. I'm specifically talking to the new paradigm builders, the ones who know they're here for a larger call to create something that's different, new, integrative, and that's what we're doing through the business we have. We're using our businesses as a vehicle to affect change. That's what being a purpose-driven entrepreneur is all about. We're not making money so we can stop working. We love our work, those of us that are the new paradigm builders. It's who we are, and it's oftentimes why we feel like there's an existential rub if we're not doing the work we're called for, because it's so much a part of who we are. The vision, the purpose, and the mission is our stabilizer. It's what helps to steady us when we get too caught up in the nuts and bolts of growing our businesses. And we forget sometimes that there's supposed to be hiccups along the way. There's supposed to be times where it doesn't all click and we don't feel confident. That's actually an important part of the process. We're meant to be uncomfortable, and we can struggle so much with feeling stretched when we're growing our businesses. Part of my intention with talking about the vision, purpose, and mission is to help you settle into a larger energy, a larger context for what you're here for, and to help you begin to define what those three pieces are for yourself. Let's get into the difference so you know where I'm coming from. The vision is the ideal outcome. It's probably, I'd say, the most commonly used term when you're thinking about what it is that you want beyond a goal. What is the vision? I'd say that's part of the larger mainstream conversation right now. We know what's going wrong. What's the vision of how we want it to, quote, go right? So the vision is the ideal outcome. I'm going to give you some examples, but I want to break down what each of these are first. The purpose is your specific role within it. Visions aren't built by one person. There's always more people involved with it, especially when we're talking about systemic change and paradigm shifting. It involves more than just you, but you play a very specific role within it. You have a purpose. That's why I'm always talking about your purpose work, because it's something only you can do with the gifts that you specifically have. You're meant to be synthesizing these gifts together and using them in the context of your business to shift the paradigm. And then the mission is the specific end goal. So you're wanting to put some numbers in there, get more tangible. It gives you a direction to head in. And when you're able to accomplish the mission, then you'll experience the vision in real time. I've talked about this for years with my clients and in a lot of the courses I've put out there. And I haven't talked about it for a while, but I'm coming back to a point within my own build where it's really important for me to start anchoring more into the vision, the purpose, and the mission for myself. For any of you tuning in that have gone through either an inner or outer transformation in the past couple of years, like something has significantly shifted for you in terms of how you see the world or how you see yourself, it's an even more essential call to come back to your vision, purpose, and mission and adjust it, because you're different. And so you're going to see those three pieces slightly differently. Let me give you some examples of what those are: vision, purpose, mission. One of the visions I have is I would love to see a collaboration platform for teenagers between 10 and 18, where kids can connect to collaborate. And it's highly secure, highly well vetted. And I have this vision is because I have a teenage son. He's really into music. He really wants to collaborate with people. And he is trying to find the spaces and the places to connect with other people to do music collaborations. I don't let him have any social media. I'm trying to get him to be not on the computer as much. And when he is, I want it to be in a safe and secure space. So this is one of my visions. I don't necessarily have the capacity to create it. So if you're tuning into this and you're like, I know someone that can do that, let me know. That's the vision. My purpose within it is to simply talk about it and to share it. I don't see me building the platform. New paradigm specific visions come very easily to me. I probably have 10 a day, and sometimes they're the same ones, but oftentimes I'm like, oh, we could do this, and what about this, and we could put things together. There are some people that tend to be more visionary in their approach, and I would certainly fall under that category. And then the mission would be to get 1,000 families onto this platform. So the mission would be twofold: to find the right team members to create that kind of infrastructure and to get 1,000 families onto that platform. So do you see how the mission is slightly more pointed? It's got more specificity to it. It gives me something to aim for. In some ways, it's like a goal connected to a bigger vision. And it gives you a sense of mission, a sense of drive, a sense of pointing your arrow in a very particular direction. Because it's the vision, the purpose, and the mission, it serves this greater calling. One of the other visions I have is to create an alternative to the mainstream healthcare system. While I understand there's a lot of individual healers out there and a lot of different holistic health practitioners, what I want to create, or what I envision happening, is something that's more cohesively connected. Rather than going to one practitioner here and another practitioner there, I would love for there to be a system where notes can be exchanged. There can be an ambassador or a concierge or some sort of intermediary bridge that helps people new to this alternative system get to know the lay of the land, so they feel like they're truly entering into part of a community, like a relational way of taking care of their health and well-being. My purpose within it would be to talk about the concept and to also do the outreach around connecting with different practitioners that would be interested in such a vision. The mission would be to have 50 to 100 practitioners and support staff, and then 1,000 participants in this system as a prototype. That would be the mission to reach out to. So there would be a number of steps I would do that I could reverse engineer so I could set that into motion, or find the people to help me set that into motion. So again, when you have a vision, it's going to require more than just you. Here's where it connects with your specific business. Whatever it is that you are offering or doing, what your main message is about, it is connected to a larger vision. It is connected to a larger mission. Once you start to get clear on how it's connected, then it becomes easier to find other people that are doing similar work and then work together to help each other build your businesses, build the larger vision. It's like you find where your puzzle piece clicks into place. That's what makes this concept different than just joining a business community where you're hanging out and growing your individual businesses. That's another vision I have, is I want to create a business community for those of us that feel this larger calling, the paradigm shifters, the new paradigm builders, so we can not just do our businesses in parallel, like right next to each other, but we invest in each other. We group up based on the larger vision we have, and then we find how we fit into this larger context with each other. It's kind of like when you think of communities in the old school, you'd go to this neighbor for this specific reason, and then you'd go to this other neighbor for because they had this tool, and you go to this person because they have this perspective. It's more of an organic, you know what your role is, and you know what other people's roles are. I have a whole vision around a business community as well. My role within that is to be the connector and the introducer, because I immediately meet people and know who I'm meant to introduce them to. I see where people fit in this larger team kind of way. I have a whole mission around this new paradigm builder community. I'm in the middle of creating right now, actually. If you're interested in that, please do let me know. So these are different examples of vision, purpose, and mission. Vision is this larger ideal outcome you want to see happen. Purpose is your role within it. Mission is the specific, qualitative and quantitative that you're aiming for, that you can reverse engineer and see, okay, if my purpose role is this within this mission, then I know that I need this type of person and this type of person to help me move towards these numbers, these specific goals. As we do that, that vision becomes actualized. And even as you start to explore, what is my vision? What is my purpose? What is my mission in relation to the work that I'm doing? Sometimes there can be a gap between what we're building with our businesses and what we envision. I know there was a period of time some years ago where I was only doing one-off intuitive readings for people, but I kept feeling this larger call of a vision, and I wasn't connecting it with my business. Even though I was using my gifts, even though I was making a difference for individual people, I felt incomplete. I felt empty. I enjoyed it, but I was like, what's missing? Like, something's not clicking into place here. There's something bigger I'm meant to be doing with these gifts or with what I'm building. So explore those gaps for yourself. See how you can bridge them and bring them together. And use that to help stabilize and steady your business, especially in the moments you're feeling rocked, and also use it to propel you forward, to expand you and stretch you. There's many different ways to work with the vision, purpose, mission. This is part of the work that I do with clients because you do need that foundation. It will carry you far through your ups and through your downs. So vision, purpose, mission is where it's at. If you'd like to learn more about working one-on-one, simply go to my site, vasmith.com, and I will be back soon with another episode. Take care.